It's payday, you guys, and I should be excited, but this one has got me a little bit worried, and here's why. Hi, friends, welcome back to Budgeting Over 40. I'm Melissa, and we are here to do a paycheck allocation for the amount that you see in Ready to Assign $2,483.77. And here's why I'm worried, you guys. So, this paycheck was technically supposed to be counted as the first paycheck for the month of October, but that's not going to happen, you guys. As you could see here, we do have some overspending to cover. There is 8 of them, and it is totaling $1,953.54. Household consumable for $92.09 overspent. Heating oil overspent for $500 and a penny. In the food category, dining out for $32.69, groceries for $322.31. In the My Babies category group, braces for $225, haircuts for $31.20, school supplies for $49.78, and in transportation, car fuel is at $50.03. And there is no way that I could cover all of that, almost $2,000 out of this paycheck, then to leave money to roll over into the month of October after taking care of the bills that needs to be taken care of in the month of September. So we do still have some bills to take care of. So one thing I did do, I did do some rearranging here in YNAB. I did pull out the utilities and have its own category group. I also did change my focus views up here. So instead of fixed, now I have monthly. This is all the bills that I need to pay on a monthly basis, including everything, debt, everything. When you can think of something that I need to pay monthly, it is under this focus view. So let's go ahead and just talk about what needs to be covered before September goes out, right? So in the home expenses, everything is already set. In utilities, I paid the electric, but I do need to pay the cell phone for 274. So let's go ahead and assign 274.24. For the internet and the home phone, I need to do $89 for this. Going down into debt, we don't have to do anything with debt because everything was already paid for the month of September. Thank the Lord. In credit card payments, now this is a different category group. YNAB creates this all on its own. I do have to pay the minimum payment to my Apple Card. Now, here's what's going on. You could see there's a negative $307.11 here. Is because I had to pull money out of the payment to take care of my personal loan. Remember the mishap that I had with the personal loan? The money had to be pulled out of that. So, one thing I needed to do, or I need to do, in order to not carry any debt over into month of October is to cover this $307, but I don't think I can. So let's move on from that one. Also, before I move on, the minimum payment for Apple needs to be paid in the amount of $25. I have not paid that yet, but I have already covered it for the month because I do swipe this card for everything. Now there's another thing. There is $189 left to cover before September goes out to cover the statement balance for Apple, just so I wouldn't have to pay any interest. So I need to cover that. That most definitely will be taken care of when I go ahead and pay for my cell phone because since I have the money assigned here, when I use the Apple Card to pay for my cell phone bill, I will then go ahead and make that payment, and that will take care of the remaining statement balance. So I'm in the clear for that where I won't be paying any interest, which is a plus for me. Now braces for 225, I need to go ahead and take that out of ready to assign, and I'm going to show you what's happening with my credit cards. Child support, I do need to pay the full amount of 526. This needs to be paid today or before the end of September. Car insurance already paid. Subscription, so Peloton was paused, but I do need to pay for iCloud storage for $9.99. All right, so that's it for all the monthly bills. The next focus view that I do have is my weekly view. Let's go ahead and snooze this because I don't need any more money for the cell phone bill. The bill is what it is. So let's go to the weekly view. The weekly view is everything variable expense that I pay on a daily or a weekly basis. So for household consumables, I do need to cover the 9209. So let's go ahead and take that out of ready to assign. The dining out, I'm going to take that out of ready to assign as well. They're all coming from ready to assign, you guys, because if I did have money, I would have moved it around already. All the money has been depleted. For groceries, what I'm going to do though, I'm going to assign $400 here because just in case I need to do anything else as far as snacks or anything goes for the kids between now and the end of September, I will have this $77.69 here to take care of that. All right, moving down to haircuts, let's go ahead and take this out of ready to assign. Car fuel is also coming out of ready to assign. All right, so that's it for all the weekly expenses. I'm going to snooze prescription. It's asking for a penny. We don't think we need to put a penny there. Also for pocket money, this is also asking for some additional money. I'm not going to put any more money there. And for car fuel for the end of the month, I will not put any more money here. We should be good with fuel in the car for at least the first week of October. So you could see here, I still have $753.53 to assign, but we still have two categories that's overspent. Now the next focus view is annual. This is all of the sinking funds that needs to be paid throughout the months. I can't touch any of this, so we're just going to bypass that. We're going to go to infrequent. This is things that I don't do on a regular basis, and I still have two categories to cover. So heating oil, I'm going to take this out of the ready to assign. And also the school supplies for the $49.78. This is coming from ready to assign as well. So now this leaves us with $203.74. Before I go any further, you could see that all the overspending has been covered, but the problem is we only have $203.74 of this paycheck left that actually needed to go over into the month of October. We do have some bills that we need to take care of at the top of the month that I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to take care of them. So let's move on to, let me show you what I'm thinking right now. So let's go over to the accounts here. You could see that I do have some balances on credit cards. Now, usually what I'm having run through from month to month, which is the balances that I'm trying to pay off, is my Apple Card, Discover, and Mattress Firm. Those are my three regular cards that needs to be paid off. My Capital One number one has $221.62, a balance that needs to be paid off. This was where the braces was charged to. I really don't want to carry this balance into the month of October. So I think I'm going to pay this. Also, Capital One number two has the heating oil. The amount that needs to be paid is $4.92 and a penny. And this is something that I do also want to pay because I don't want any newer credit cards to be dragged along with me. I would prefer to keep the balance on the Apple Card, my Discover, and the Mattress Firm. So that is what I'm thinking moving forward. My Apple Card is at a high balance right now. This is higher than where we started in the month of September. So there are some charges that's going to float over into October on this card. Now, if I go down into my Apple Card payment category right now, you could see that there's $579.45 that needs to be paid out onto that card. And I don't think all of this money is going to end up there. I'm going to leave it sitting in this category to close out September, and we'll think about and talk about it when we get into October to see if I need to move it, if hubby is not able to transfer some money in, or this is money that I can actually pay onto the card. We'll see. This is money that I'm going to let sit here, but I am going to pay these amounts onto Capital One number one and Capital One number two. I hope you guys are following. I think this is the best thing that I can do. Yes, I would love to leave this $1,304.46 in the budget to be able to pay whatever expense needs to be paid in the month of October. But I'm trying to see if I can make some compromise. So go ahead and leave me a comment down in the comment section down below. What would you guys do? with the tightness of what things are with money right now, would you go ahead and clear these credit card expenses, or would you take that money and pay over into the month of October? Because that's what I'm going to do now is jump over to October, and I'm going to show you the things that needs to be covered. Right off the bat, I'm going to have to pay the rent. Hubby has not transferred any money in just yet, so I'm waiting to see if he can cover the rent by himself until I get paid. We do need to cover electric. This is due on the first, between the first and the third. The date changes every month, but it needs to be paid. But I can charge this to a card until I get additional money. But I do need to pay my student loan. This is $40 that needs to come out of my bank account. And I need to pay a firm for $415.35. But you can see all I have is $163.74. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that $163.74 in this category and wait for some additional money to come in. So that takes care of all the money from this paycheck. All the money has been assigned down to zero, but we still have some bills that we need to worry about in the month of October that hasn't been touched just yet. So you can see that we've covered all of the overspending. We've covered all of the bills that needs to be paid between now and the end of September. So September is taken care of, but what I'm worried about is October. So even though we're still in the month of September, I do get paid bi-weekly. So my next paycheck is not coming around again until the 10th of October. So I need to actually think about what needs to be done. And this is why I'm worried, because this paycheck was supposed to serve as the first paycheck for the month of October, but you can see that it's not stretching very far. So, you guys, let me know what you think in the comment. What would you guys do? Would you hold off on paying the credit cards and hold on to that money to pay the bills that's due in the month of October? Or would you set some money aside and clear some of the credit cards, leave some until you could pay it again? Let me know. I do value your opinions, and I thank you guys so much for taking the time out to watch this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back and see me in the next one. We're trying to work through it. Bye now.